All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakak, Wadash, Mama. I want to give a double honor to the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Karkarab Bun Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp. And now today, this will be a little impromptu lesson. I ain't really got nothing planned, but without further ado, I'm going to get right to the scriptures, let them speak for themselves. This is Sirach, chapter 37. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, Every friend saith, I am his friend also, but there is a friend which is only a friend in name. Every friend, everybody that say, oh yeah, that's my friend, you know, or I'm a friend also. But there are some men or some friends, his friend only in name. They're a friend on face value. They're a friend on in the sight of other men, but maybe behind your back or when they're not in your sight or when they're not around you, they could possibly be your enemy or they could be someone that is against you. Continuing. Verse 2. It says, Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and friend is turned into an enemy? Is it not a grief? That's the question. Yeah, it is grievous. If you have a true friend that is turned, or somebody that you believe that is your friend that turns into an enemy, it's grievous unto you. It's hurtful. You know what I mean? It's painful to us, in a sense, to a degree. You know, it's displeasurable. You don't really like it. You don't really agree with it. Verse 3, it says, O wicked imagination, whence camest thou in to cover the earth with deceit? There is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble would be against him. And there's also a companion, i.e., there is a friend who rejoiceth in the time of, per se, your prosperity, in your riches, or when you have things. But when the time of trouble comes, when the time of tribulation and or testing or trial comes, they prove to be against you. They prove to not dwell with you. They'll show in your time of trouble that they are against you. Verse 5, it says, There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against the enemy. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, that helpeth his friend for a benefit. And there's also a friend that can take up a buckler against the enemy. There's some friends that'll stand with you against an enemy, or with you in trials and tribulations. When hard times come. And verse 6, this is what it tells you in verse 6 of Sirach chapter 37. Forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches. Don't forget a person that doesn't help you, that was there for you, that stood with you in your times of trouble. Don't forget somebody that was there when you needed help and that helped you. Don't forget them when you when you become more abundant and or prosperous in gain and or money or different things of the sort. Don't be unmindful. Don't forget that person, because that person was there. Keep that person in your life. Keep that person on your heart. Keep that person there, because that person was true enough to help you. Continuing. Verse 7, this is, Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself. See, every counsel or counselor is going to go to somebody to get counsel, going to go to another leader and another counselor to get counsel, to get advice, to get advice, because I can't think of another word at the moment. But there's also some people that counsel for themselves. They only do these things for themselves. They counsel for themselves. They only follow the things in their own mind. They don't ask anybody that has any wisdom or any understanding of what they should do and how they should do certain things, because they counsel for themselves only. They sit within themselves, or people like them that's going to agree with whatever BS that they have in their mind. Continuing. Verse 8, it says, Be aware of a counselor, and know before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast a lot upon thee. See, be aware of every counselor. Everybody that's claiming to be a counselor or can shoot advice to you, you got to be aware. You got to be circumspect. You got to pay attention. You got to understand what need he wants or does he have. You got to understand his position. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he will counsel for himself. Some people only give you counsel for themselves to take that counsel and a word that they've given you to use it against you, or to cause you to be led astray, or improperly give you advice, or improperly advise you improperly, so like it advise you so you can get thrown off. But again, be aware of a counselor, and know what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the lot upon thee. He will counsel for himself. He will do it for his own personal gain, unless he casts a lot, casts a covering, or try to line you up to cause you to fail, to go down. Verse 9, it says, and say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee. You know, some you got to be aware, because some people tell you, oh, that's a good thing, and they know that it could possibly hurt you. You know, and they'll tell you that it's good, only to stand on the sidelines to see you fall, to see you go down, to see you crash and burn. You know, because they want to see what's going to happen to you. Because you have some people that are just wicked and evil like that. That's just how they get out. Verse 10 says, consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee. See, don't counsel with anybody that's always suspecting you of something wrong, suspecting you of going off or doing contrary to the truth. Them the ones that you hide your counsel from, because they're gonna always be looking for something to make you look bad, and or to try to line you up, per se, for lack of a better term. And they, and hide your counsel from such as people that envy you, because the people that's always trying to suspect somebody, always suspecting of something, them the people you got to watch out for, because they're envious. They're only going to try and set you up in their target so that they can come at you some kind of weird, jacked up way. So you have to be careful. You have to be circumspect. You can't just let anything or anybody in. You gotta prove people first. And you gotta hide your counsel. Don't let them know what you're doing, because an envious person love to know people's business so that they can get in and try to make up things and throw a wrench in forward progress, especially if it's positive and it's good. Let's get down to verse 12. I'm gonna jump down to verse 12. It says, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So you got to be continually with the man, Salakia, that has his mind on the commandments of the Most High. Period. Whose mind is according to your mind. If you're thinking about the commandments, the laws, the statutes, commandments of the Most High, and you're thinking to follow them and do right by the Most High, you must be with a man that does that has the same mind you have. You got to be around those kind of people that have the same mind that you have. Because anybody else that's outside of this or contrary to the scriptures, they're not going to tell you according to the scriptures. They're going to answer you according to this carnality, this carnal world, and how things are set up in the world in this carnality thing. So lucky if I keep moving the camera. There we go. But anyways, continuing. I'm going to read the verse one more time. But be continually with a godly man, with the upright man, whom thou knowest, whom you knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, whose mind is according to thy mind, whose mind is according to your mind. If you thinking on the commandments, the laws, the statutes, the commandments of the Most High, you got to have somebody that's on the, you got to be around somebody of the same mindset. Birds of a feather flock together. And will sorrow with thee if thou miscarry. You got to be somebody that's going to be there should you do slip, should you do make a mistake. You got to be with somebody that's going to be there that can help you up. I'm going to just reverse this. It says, let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto it than thee. You got to let the counsel of thine own heart. If your counsel of your heart is of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, guess what? You got to let that counsel stand. You got to stand with that counsel, because there is nothing more faithful than that counsel. If that counsel is according to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, the Most High. I'm going to read verse 14. It says, for a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower. Sometimes your mind might want to tell you more things than somebody that's outside watching, that's paying attention, that can see what's going on. Shalakia. There we go. That can see what's going on. But sometimes your mind want to tell you more than what is really going on, than 7 watchmen, than 7 men that's watching, or 7 people that can see what's going on. Verse 15, it says, above all this, pray to the Most High, that he will direct thy way in truth. Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action. So you got to pray to the Most High, and he will direct your way in truth. You got to pray to him. You got to talk to him, so he can direct your paths down the right way of truth. And my last point, it says, let every reason go before enterprise. Let reason go before you make a decision. Make sure that you understand what is going on, and or take counsel before you make a decision and or a choice. And again, let reason go before every enterprise, and the counsel before every action. So make sure and plan what you're going to do before you do it. Make sure you're getting the correct advice when you make certain moves to do certain things. And with that, shalom. It was just an impromptu. I ain't had nothing planned. Shalom.